Hi, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle PowerPoint. And look, if you're a complete beginner, this one's for you. We're going to help you turn that intimidating blank canvas into a seriously powerful tool for bringing your best ideas to life.
Yeah, that feeling, we've all been there, right? But don't you worry. We're going to flip that script, change that intimidation into total confidence by walking through all the essentials, step by step, together. So, here's what we've got on the docket. We're going to start with your very first presentation, get comfortable with the workspace, and then, this is the fun part, make your slides interactive. After that, we'll cover how to save and share your masterpiece, and, just in case, how to recover it if disaster strikes. Sound good? Let's jump in. Okay, first things first, let's start your creative journey. We're going to kick things off with that very first screen you see the moment you open up PowerPoint. So the second you fire a PowerPoint, you land right here. This is the start screen, kind of like your command center or launchpad. You can see your recent projects here, but for our purposes today, we're going to go ahead and click Blank Presentation. Let's start with a totally clean slate. All right, we've got our blank canvas. Now it's time to check out the workshop. Let's get familiar with all the tools you have at your disposal. Right up at the top of the screen, you'll see this big thing called the ribbon. Honestly, just think of it as your main toolbox. See how it's organized into tabs like Home, Insert, and Design? That's where all the commands you'll ever need are neatly sorted. It's your one-stop shop for, well, pretty much everything, from changing fonts to dropping in pictures.
Okay, now look way up in the top left corner. See that little row of icons? That's the Quick Access Toolbar. And let me tell you, this little guy is a huge time saver. It's where you keep your favorite, most used commands, like save and undo. And the best part? It's always there, no matter which tab you've clicked on in the ribbon.
And here's the cool part, you can totally make it your own. To customize it, you just click that tiny little arrow, and you can add any command you use a lot, like new or quick print. See, it's all about making PowerPoint work for you, not the other way around. Now, if you click on that File tab, it takes you somewhere different. This is called the Backstage view. I like to think of it as the, behind-the-scenes area for your whole presentation. You're not editing your slides here. You're managing the actual file. This is where you'll go for all the important stuff like saving, printing, sharing, and exporting. Okay, moving on. This next part is where things get really interesting. We're going to talk about making your slides interactive. We are going to bring your content to life by turning boring old text into clickable links. This is seriously one of PowerPoint's most powerful features. And you won't believe how easy it is to connect your audience to stuff outside your presentation. I mean, look at these steps. You just select some text, pop over to the Insert tab, click Link, and paste in a web address or type in an email. And bam! Just like that, your slide isn't just a slide anymore. It's a gateway to a whole world of extra info. So this brings up a design choice for you. Do you want people to click on a specific word or phrase? Or do you want a bigger target, like an entire button or a box? Linking text is great for being precise, but linking a shape gives your audience a big, easy-to-click area. Honestly, there's no right or wrong answer. It just depends on the look and feel you're going for. Okay, but check this out. This is where it gets really cool. You can also link to other slides inside your own presentation. What does that mean? It means you can build stuff like a clickable table of contents. Your presentation doesn't have to be a straight line from start to finish. You can let your audience jump straight to the section that matters most to them. It's a total game changer. All right, so you've built something awesome. What's next? Well, we've got to make sure it's saved properly and ready to share with the world. That's what this next section is all about. Okay, this is super, super important for not messing up your work. Save and save as. What's the difference? Well, save just updates the file you're currently working on. Simple. But save as, that creates a whole new copy of your file. This is what you want to use when you need to change the name, save it in a different place, or even change the file type, all without touching your original version. And these days, where you save is just as important as how. If you save it to your computer, well, it's stuck there. You can only get it on that specific machine. But if you save it to a cloud service like OneDrive, whoa, now you can get to it from any device that has internet. And collaboration, it becomes a piece of cake. People can even work on it at the same time. So sometimes you don't want to send someone the actual PowerPoint file they can mess with, right? That's where exporting is your best friend. You can export it as a PDF, which locks in your formatting and makes it viewable by anyone, but they can't easily change it. Or, and this is a good trick, you can export it as an older PowerPoint version, just in case you're sending it to someone with really old software. All right, for our last section, let's talk about something that could one day be a total lifesaver. We're talking about PowerPoint's built-in safety net for those moments when things go horribly, horribly wrong. So imagine this. You're in the zone, creating your masterpiece, and then the power goes out, or your computer just decides to crash. You hadn't saved in an hour. That feeling, that pit in your stomach, we've all been there. But here's the good news. PowerPoint has a plan for this exact scenario. And that plan is called AutoRecovery. What it means is that by default, PowerPoint is quietly working in the background. Every 10 minutes, it's automatically saving a backup copy of what you're doing. And the best part is you don't have to do a thing. It's just happening. So, if the worst happens, the first rule is don't panic. Just reopen PowerPoint. Most of the time, this document recovery panel will just appear on the left side with your file waiting for you. If it's not there for some reason, no big deal. Just go to File, then Open, and look all the way down at the bottom for a button that says Recover Unsaved Presentations. Seriously, just knowing this feature exists is enough to let you breathe a whole lot easier. And there you have it. We've gone all the way from a scary blank slide to creating cool interactive content. We've even learned how to recover from a total disaster. You now have all the core tools you need to build something amazing, to save it, and to share it with the world. So the only question left for you is, what story will you tell?